talent is not enough. That's the key word. It takes more than talent to actually sell a good product. I've actually started fashion as a side hustle. It actually became a proper business when I made my first 1 million. 1 million over 13 years ago. Even the first person that gave me my 1 million doesn't know.
It was the first person.
I won't say I was faking it till I made it, but I always had that aura of, you know what, this guy has made it. We're not even helping him.
Or just patronizing his business.
Exactly. I think at that point it was easy for people in diaspora to trust your business because they're like, oh, you done clothes for the likes of these people that they even look up to. So they're like, oh, you know what, this guy is not gonna run. Let's give him a try. A try actually convinced them, and they're like, you know what, found our tailor. I changed that narrative. The first thing anybody that has made use of our service will say is, we see with Fresh by Dotun, they tell you they're gonna deliver tomorrow. It's gonna be tomorrow. I'm not bragging, but that's what we do. I still want my clients to be able to pick up that Fresh by Dotun piece and rock it in 10 years time and still feel trendy. To me, fashion is a lifestyle. It's what I'm going to do till I die.
Hello there. My name is Michael Okunloro, and this is Trades and Profits.
Yo.
My name is Adeyeye Dotun. I'm the creative director of Fresh by Dotun, and you're watching Trades and Profit. Okay.
This episode is brought to you by 1219 Styles, for quality bespoke suits crafted to perfection, all from the comfort of your home. Schedule a virtual measurement today at www.1219styles.com.
Cheers to the conversation to come. All right. Well, yeah, Mr. Dotun Adeyeye, if I'm right, Fresh by Dotun, and it's a pleasure having this conversation with you again.
Same here.
About your journey, about your story. You must have explained this or told this story a million times, but I don't think it is ever enough. Can you talk us through Fresh by Dotun, the inception?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Adeyeye Dotun. I'm the creative director of Fresh by Dotun. As you all know, I'm a trained architect. I studied architecture, first degree, second degree, and fashion for me has always been a passion. Fashion has been a part of me from inception. I remember starting back then in school. I've always wanted to be the best dressed whenever I step into the room. I've always had that distinct style that gets people attracted to me, and it all started as personal, something that I love doing. Fashion for me has always been inborn, so it was easy to transition from making fashion a personal thing to making fashion a business. So I wouldn't say it was quite difficult for me to get my first clientele. I was actually practicing what I preach. So for me, it came easy. So I remember always trying to get clothes, then trying to tweak it to have its own identity. And I have friends that will be like, you know, I love what you're wearing. Where can I get it? And all that. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I can get it for you. I can have it done for you. And I think that was what still led to me to say, you know what? At this point, I think I can just start making my own apparel and having like a bespoke kind of line. So for me, fashion started, I think I started making money from fashion as way back as 2009, 2010, but I think officially it was about 2012. I think that year I was done with school, and I remember I've actually started the fashion as a side hustle. It actually became a proper business when I made my first 1 million. 1 million over 13 years ago. You know, that's
Wow.
That's a lot of money. At that point, I needed to take it to the next level. And I always say that, and I keep saying that. Even the first person that gave me my 1 million doesn't know.
It was the first person.
Are you serious? Yeah, he doesn't know till date. And that came from referrals. When you do jobs for people and they like it, it sells itself. So I didn't have to do much. People that have done jobs for are like, you know, I like what you're wearing, where can I get it? And the next thing is, oh, let me introduce you to my plug. This is my guy. He can fix you up. He can do whatever you choose, whatever you want. And I think basically my passion actually brought me to where I am today.
Oh wow. So you said the first person that paid you the 1 million didn't know.
He was the first person.
Most deaf. He might be watching that and be like, what's
That's
this guy talking about? He still probably doesn't have an idea. I used to, then it was always like, oh, this guy looks made. This guy looks very okay. I was giving I won't say I was faking it till I made it, but I always had that aura of, you know what, this guy has made it, so we're not even helping him. We're just, do you understand?
We're just patronizing his business.
Exactly. But I think that's what drives your passion. Your passion when you're
About what you do?
yeah, do you get a passionate about what you do? But these days it's just all about, a lot of people are into fashion because they feel people are now making money from fashion. But during our days, it wasn't really about the money. It was about the passion. That's why a lot of youngies tend to struggle, because they feel, oh, I started this business. I have this business plan. In 5 months, I want to be a millionaire. In 5 months, I want to be out there. So it's more about the profits. And when you dwell on the outcome, that's the profit, you tend to lose your motivation. Your motivation is money. Your motivation is not your passion. But if your motivation is your passion, the money comes in easily. That's what I tell people.
The money follows the value.
Yeah.
So how long in the time space of when you started and when you made the first million?
Okay, so back then in school, I never thought of it as a business. It was just, oh, I love fashion. I'm getting some side piece, extra income for me. It wasn't, I never thought I was going to finish school and focus on fashion. My dream was, although I still practice architecture, but I think for me, I've always wanted to do fashion, but I never thought of it as a business. So along the line, I was just doing my thing. I think it took me about almost 3 years to get that big break. Yeah, so that's why I said a lot of people now just want to start fashion business, and in 5 months, don't start getting results. So for me, it was at that point I got my big break. Even if I didn't get that big break, I feel I would have still been doing what I'm doing, because to me, fashion is a lifestyle. Yeah, fashion is what I'm going to do till I die. It's not about,
Everyone
making
even at 70,
you understand?
still doing it.
So it's not about, I made money from fashion today and tomorrow it's not that rosy. And I start to think, trust me, there are times when you, especially when you have it as a business, there are times when you start to doubt yourself, like, what am I doing here? Why am I in fashion? So, but you always have to prepare for the rainy days, for the good days and all that. For me, like I said, it was when I made that first 1 million that I knew that, you know what, if I can make 1 million with little resources, the business was not structured, and I could make 1 million. What if the business is now structured? Have my in-house tailors. That was when I started planning big. My first store, I got in-house tailors, I got administrative staff and all that, and it has been expanding ever since then. So there's also one thing I do. I try not to give room for complacency. You made some millions today, don't feel like you've arrived. Keep pushing.
There's another
pushing. Yeah, there's always where you feel what you feel you attain is just a starting point for some other people. So that spirit of, you know what, I'm just getting started. I always say, if I still had, even though the drive is not as at when I started, I feel if it was as at when I started, maybe I'll be far from where I want to be right now. Because I remember then I could literally go from Magodo to Aja just to measure a client that wants to sew a shirt. So that was how structured the passion was. But now, we thank God. We thank God for where we are right now.
So your first store was you started from Magodo.
So my first store was actually at Omoli.
Omoli, okay. So from Omoli, then you took it down to London.
Yeah, so from Omoli, we moved to Magodo.
Yeah.
And now London.
Okay, so in between that time of you having that first client who paid you 1 million to make an item for him, And now, because I remember the very first time we met was at African Fashion Week in London, and I saw your style, I saw your design, I saw everything. It was impeccable. I would say you stole the show. And since then as well, we've been in touch. I've been seeing the amazing work you're doing. In between that London space and from Omole, after the first 1 million, was it then now consistent?
I wouldn't say that's been all rosy, but we've experienced growth. And we've experienced tremendous growth, I must say. Like I said, after I made my first major money in fashion, I decided to expand. And expanding cost me a lot, because at that point, I'm like, you know what, we need to grow this business properly. So that means employing a lot of hands, from administrative staff to the tailors, the supervisors, the accountants, the social media person, PR person, and all that. So it actually cost me a lot to bring the whole team together and to even actually sustain that. But what that just did for me was it pushed me to do more. So at that point, I'm like, I have staff to pay, and I can't just sit back and expect that what worked yesterday is going to work today. We had a lot of youngins coming in ready to take your spot. So what I did, I think the strategy that worked for me then was I try not to be out of people's spaces. So that way I try and come up with collections every season. And I try and use public figures, celebrities, and all that. So that way I became consistent. And being consistent meant that, okay, this guy meant serious business. So I think at that point it was easy for, let's say, people in diaspora to trust your business, because they're like, oh, you've done clothes for the likes of these people that they even look up to. So they're like, oh, you know what, this guy is not gonna run. And it was like, let's give him a try. A try actually convinced them, and they're like, you know what, found our tailor. And that was also one thing that I made sure I changed that narrative, because they're like, tailors always disappoint and all that. So I guess if you ask around, the first thing anybody that has made use of our service will say is, we see with Fresh by Dotun, they tell you they're going to deliver tomorrow. It's going to be tomorrow. I'm not bragging, but that's what we do. So our integrity is
intact.
It's intact. You can't tell me we're not 100% perfect. If you are not, we always ask for feedbacks. If you are not 100% satisfied with, which we hardly get, if you are not 100% satisfied with our product, we inquire on how you feel, and we try as much as possible to make amends or make it up to the person by offering them discounts on their next orders, by even doing a replacement. So integrity has been a key thing for us. So when we get referrals like that, they'll be like, go to Fresh by Dotun. Once you give them a job, just go and sleep. So that has consistently helped in growing the brand. And as year goes by, we start building an international portfolio. You have clients in places that I've not even been to. So I think Fresh by Dotun right now has over 50% of clients that they've never even seen.
Wow.
So at that point, we knew that, you know what, we've gotten to a certain level and we need to explore. I think that was when the whole idea of setting up Fresh by Dotun in London came up. So it has been, London is a very funny terrain. It's very funny terrain, because number one, the people here are very conservative. You can have someone have a shirt and has been wearing that shirt for 5 years.
Yeah.
So London has its perks, and you know, it has not been, trust me, it hasn't been easy for me. Coming to London is like starting all over, but gradually we are not there yet, but I think we're getting to where we feel there's some sort of encouragement to keep going further. I guess that's it.
So how long have you been in London for now?
Actively actively, I would say late 2002.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, 2022.
2020.
Oh, so I've been on and off since 2021, but actively since late 2022.
And how was the acceptance?
Like I said, London is a whole different terrain. The acceptance is coming gradually, but I think a lot of work still needs to be put in place.
Yeah.
This is still a testing phase for us, but we know that gradually we'll scale through.
Especially London being a fashion capital, everywhere you walk through, you can see an established brand. I can imagine and understand what you're talking about, which then brings me to like my next question. And I've seen your designs. Your designs are like one in a one designs. Your designs are unique to you. It is something you will hardly find on the rack in stores. So number one, what inspires those designs? What inspires the work?
Okay, for me, I think I get inspired by almost anything around me. At times, it's even difficult to document these inspirations because just be on my phone and my wallpaper can inspire me. I can be walking out and the shape of a tree can inspire me.
And then you create something with it.
Do you understand? Anything can inspire me. So I try as much as possible to document these inspirations because when I'm trying to come up with a lookbook, as much as there is a trend, I try to make my stuff classic. So after 10 years, I still want my clients to be able to pick up that Fresh by Dotun piece and rock it in 10 years time. I still feel trendy. So I get inspired by nature, by shapes, by forms, by basically anything around me. I'm an architect, so I think my creative thought process has always been there because from having clients to tell you they are brave, some clients they have this idea of bringing their dreams to reality. So a client can just tell you that he wants a house in form of a spaceship. You have to start thinking. Your form has to follow function because like what his thought process has to be also functional. So it's a lot of creative thought process. That's why they say architects are jack of all trades. I also get inspired by mentors, by people that I look up to. But there's a saying that says no idea is original, but that doesn't mean you have to now do like a copy and paste. If no idea is original, try and tweak it up to your own and make it originally yours.
Okay, so there is this question I've always had about in the fashion space. So for example, look at these your jackets. This is the first time I'm seeing a jacket of this, number one, of this color fabric. This is designed. I think it's a one button
Double breasted.
It's a one button double breasted. All right, so now that I see yours and I like it, as a designer, if I go back to them and say, okay, you know what, let me change the fabric, probably make the lapel a rolling lapel or a notch lapel. Does that make the design unique to me, or is that a new design entirely?
Okay, so first off, I think for products like suits, to me, I would say there's a template to that. So you know when you are categorizing suits, you can say, oh, you want a notch lapel, a peak lapel, a rolling lapel. So if I do a notch lapel suit, doesn't make it a fact that a notch lapel suit hasn't been existing.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So for products like suits, it now depends on the occasion. If it's a casual suit, you should bring out the fabric and make it a notch lapel or a peak lapel. I don't see anything original about that product. I think the originality comes in when you use like your own unique kind of fabric. That's for suits. Then if it's an occasional suit, now you might have an edge over a formal suit. Because for an occasional suit, let's say it's for a red carpet event, most times suits for a red carpet event just use it for that event, and basically that's the only time you might wear it. And for that now, I can now say, you know what, let me do like a velvet suit. Even if it's a pick lapel, that makes it classic. That's like the original way of doing a red carpet suit. Then if I now say, okay, I want to be unconventional, then I can now start saying, I beat it, I study it, I accessorize it, and make the style mine. There are some brands that when you see studs on them, you can almost relate that. Let me give an instance. Let's say Givenchy. When you see studs on their products, you can almost relate that it's Givenchy. Like for a Zanotti shoe, if you see blinks on it, you know what I'm saying. So
Once you see those
exactly,
details,
in that case now, I can say you can always tweak it with your own identity. If you are known for beats, go with beats. If you are known for maybe an artwork detailing, go for that. Make it yours. That's what I'll say.
I know you mentioned you studied architecture in uni. Did you take any design course in fashion?
Okay, so I would like to say I was self-taught. Yeah, I was self-taught because I had to learn a lot of stuff myself. So, and this is because I want perfection. Like I used to say this, that most tailors don't know everything all round.
Yeah.
There are some people that know how to cut well. There are some people that know how to sew well. There are some people that know how to cut and sew but cannot take a proper measurement. Are you aware? So you have to find a way to balance it all. I have to have a sense of style. At times you see tailors that sew perfectly, but when they dress, you start to, their appearance will give you doubts that, are you sure this person can actually make this product?
Yeah.
But when they make that product,
their own forte is just for them to sew.
Exactly. So for fashion designers, for someone like me, I had to learn everything. So that's why I said I was self-taught. I didn't learn how to look good. That was important. But
That was more natural.
yeah, that was natural. So, but I had to learn how to combine colors, bring my creativity to life. I had to learn how to measure correctly according to body size. I had to learn almost everything I know today.
And did you ever go back to architecture at any point? Or
so architecture for me is once an architect, forever an architect. So it's surprising that a lot of people don't even know that I still kind of practice. But
so now?
Yeah. So, but what I do, it's a personal practice. It's a private practice rather. So, but I do more real estates.
Okay. Can imagine. It never leaves the body.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So what's the future like for Fresh by Dotun? What are we to look out for?
So the future for me is to grow the brand bigger, and hopefully we get to see Fresh by Dotun in US very soon. We get to see Fresh by Dotun in the major fashion capital of the world.
Yeah.
And we pray to be at least one of Africa's finest. You're taking over the global market.
You're already doing that. I can see that already. So I see you as well getting into ready to wear. How's that been?
Yeah. So like I said, there is fashion and there's also fashion business. Me getting into ready to wear is the fashion business.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, the fastest way to make money in fashion is the ready to wear. A lot of people, especially in Africa, are not ready to pay the price for bespoke tailoring. And the thing about bespoke tailoring is it takes a lot of time.
So the money has to...
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of people are not. How many people are ready to pay £1,500 or dollars for a bespoke suit? Very few. And people feel, oh, I can still go on the rack, get a suit for £200 and just move on. Do you understand? So we have to also consider that as much as we have passion in doing this thing, it's also a business.
You have to balance the business.
Yes, we have to balance the business. So that's why I ventured into ready to wear. For ready to wear, I know that clients just come in, they pick up, they go online, they shop. If it's not their perfect fit, that's on them. They need to close your alteration because it has been done already. But for a bespoke, it has to be the perfect fit. You don't have an excuse of, oh, the sleeve is not long enough, or the pant needs to be longer, or it's bespoke for a reason. But a lot of people are not ready for that conversation because it means me dedicating my time to actually get this done. And
It actually takes more time. Yeah?
Yeah, time is money. So for a fast fashion, I can have like 1,000 pieces of a certain product, and my job will just be to be marketing it. It's done already. You already have an idea of how much is your profits. You already have an idea of how much you put into the business. But it's different for bespoke. You can have bespoke pieces that take as much as 8 weeks. What happens to every day as every day goes by? So
And those time,
And over this time, the money is not calculated or factored into
the job has to be done 100%. Once you get the job done, then you now start talking profit. But like I said, how many people are willing to pay for that service? So we have to still find a way to balance it. Even though for our bespoke pieces, we're trying as much as possible to not make the waiting time that long, so that we can cater for the influx of customers that we're getting.
Yeah. But bespoke takes time and away. And I think that's what makes it unique. You getting something special that fits your body type. For young designers coming into the industry, or people who are passionate about fashion like yourself, and they want to take it from hobby to business, what will you advise?
So for the new generation, like I said, as we grow older, there's technology in place now.
Yeah.
There's a lot in place now. So what worked for me back then
I know really
work, do you understand? Might not work for them right now. Because apart from having a good product, even the biggest brands now, they pay influencers for influencing. So it's not just about having a talent. You have to know how to convert that talent to money, make it monetary. You have to be out there socially. You have to network. So the fashion business now, it's way different from what it used to be. So it's not just about you having a good product. So my advice for the younger ones will be, as much as it's your passion, I would have said, or I can say, have multiple streams of income. So you don't get discouraged easily. Because if all you have is fashion, and if you give it your all, definitely one day it's gonna turn into profits. You're gonna profit from it. But when, you might not know. So when you put all your eggs in one basket and you're not getting the results you want, you might feel discouraged, and it start making you feel like, am I on the right path enough? Do you understand? So I would say for young designers, they have the platform right now: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Should leverage on the platform. Talent is not enough. That's the key word.
Talent isn't enough.
Talent is not enough. Right now, talent is not enough. It takes more than talent to actually sell a good product. Marketing strategies, and a whole lot. So I think that's basically mine.
All right. Just to round up, there's this game we play. It's a this or that game. So if I ask Fresh or Dotun, which one will you pick? That's just an example. All right. So London or Lagos?
Am I allowed to pick both?
No, you're limited to one.
That's a difficult one, because Lagos is always home. So, but we also need to expand. So I will say London, Lagos. Right. Necessarily, that's a difficult one. That's a difficult one right now.
Winter or summer?
Summer all day and day.
Summer. Oh wow. I don't know why you guys like summer. I prefer winter.
Nah, trust me, I hate the cold. I like the cold, but when it's extreme.
Yeah. I think I like winter because it gives you the opportunity to come out with a whole jacket and just
winter fashion is cool. Winter fashion is cool, but it's good for pictures.
Yeah. Tuxedo or single button jacket?
Single button, because I can always rock it all day, every day.
Single button or double breasted?
Single button probably.
Single button, single button. Oh, you're one of the few people I've made that the prefer single button to double breasted.
Is single button.
So with that, well, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you so much. Just one more time again. Then you have you made. Yeah.